Howdy, folks. I'm Brian,
I'm Amber.
and here's some Reddit. Our first story is titled, Am I a Jerk for Insisting That My Boyfriend Eat Respectfully at a Nice Restaurant? So, my boyfriend is a 20-year-old male, L, and I, a 20-year-old female, have been dating for 7 months. We usually take takeout if we want to get something to eat. However, I recently was promoted, so we went to eat at a very nice Italian restaurant, like one with an enforced dress code. My boyfriend is not the nicest of eaters, which can be kind of gross, but I deal with it. However, I didn't realize that he had no table manners. At the restaurant, after we were served our appetizers, a beautifully plated bruschetta dish, Elle looked at me and jokingly asked if I would be upset if he enjoyed his meal the same way he would at home. I told him that we were at a nice restaurant and there were other customers around. He didn't say anything, but instead started digging into his bruschetta with his hands, ignoring the serving fork, getting sauce all over his finger. I let this go. However, when the pasta came out, he smirked at me and ate like he hadn't eaten in a week. He dropped his fork and started picking at the pieces of chicken and noodles with his fingers, getting sauce everywhere. The tablecloth, his hands, his clothes, and his face. And he didn't miss an opportunity to loudly burp after he had finished destroying his side of the table. The table next to us was astonished. My waiter even asked him if he was okay. Other customers were staring. He also put his feet up on the chair next to us, blocking the aisle. I had no idea what to do. I didn't want to make even more of a scene, so I just asked for the check, which I paid, and left really embarrassed. On the way home, I told him how embarrassed I was, and he just said it was my fault for not letting him enjoy the meal as he pleased, and that since we were paying customers, the other guests had no business judging us. Am I the jerk? Alright, folks. What do you think here? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk, dump him.
Amber says not the jerk and dump him. I think your boyfriend did this intentionally. It seems very malicious. He did this purposefully to embarrass you. You asked him if he could tone back his normal, and he doubled down. He didn't just was like, oh, I had a couple of bad faux pas here or there, right? This was full on, I'm going to eat as rudely as possible and be as rude as possible so as to embarrass you at a nice restaurant. This is not a good situation, OP. I think that your boyfriend is basically asserting dominance here. Like this was his power play. He wants you to feel like you are that he has this control over you. This, at least that's how I feel. So I honestly don't know if this is necessarily a I think that this is a red flag. I don't know that this is a situation that you should tolerate. And I guess it really just depends on how he is normally. If this was just completely out of the blue for him for like a behavior pattern. But I have a feeling that there will probably be more of these occurrences in your future. And if you like fine dining, if you like eating out at nice restaurants and you want to have more of those experiences in your future, then this might not be the relationship for you. And so, yeah, I don't think that you're a jerk for being embarrassed and getting, mad at him for doing this. I think that this was very disrespectful and it didn't, this was your night out to celebrate and he kind of took advantage of that. So, yeah, anyhow, take care and good luck. Not the jerk. He smirked at me. He smirked at you. Dude knew exactly what he was doing and took pleasure in publicly embarrassing you. This here, OP. A man who enjoys humiliating you is going to escalate to abusing you, and quickly too. He just told you who he is, dump him, and bail like any sane person would. Edit, book suggestion. This is a PDF you can read on your phone or computer. It gets into the why of how the situation is concerning and why I'm concerned for OP. And it's Blondie. Why does he do that? At an event specifically meant to celebrate her promotion, nonetheless. All right. Our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for peeing in the cat tray? Okay, so this is weird and I'm using a throwaway because this is so embarrassing. I'm a 29-year-old female and my partner, a 25-year-old male, have been dating for 3 years and we've lived together for one of those. We live in a small one-bedroom flat that has one bathroom with our 2 cats. I am diabetic and on a number of medications. One of them basically flushes sugar straight through my system and it can make me pee a lot. I go from not feeling like I need to pee to if I don't pee in the next 20 minutes, I'm going to pee myself. It comes on suddenly sometimes. My boyfriend has IBS and can spend 40 minutes in the bathroom easily sometimes. This hasn't been a problem so far. Today, though, he had a bad IBS moment, and after 40 minutes locked in the bathroom, I felt that I needed to pee. I figured it wouldn't be much longer, since he had already been in there for 40 minutes. I knocked on the door and let him know that I needed to pee and asked how long he was going to be. He said he would be a few minutes. No problem. Well, 20 minutes later, he's been in there for an hour at this point, and I'm kind of doing the potty dance a little bit and knocking on the door again, and he's going to be in there for a few more minutes. I tell him I'm going to be not able to hold it much longer, and if he could just unlock the door, and I would hop in the shower. He said that he can't get off the toilet right now. Fair enough. After another 15 minutes, my bladder is starting to hurt, and he hasn't flushed or anything yet. I figure, whatever, my bladder hurts and I'm bursting, and it figures that the cats would forgive me. We have 2 litter trays, one in the bathroom and one in a nook in the corridor. I pop a squat over the litter tray in the corridor and I have a little tinkle and I use a kitchen towel to wipe. I then bag up the litter tray and completely refresh it. He comes out another 10 minutes later and says the bathroom is free to use, and I tell him I'm fine. He gives me a funny look and I tell him what I did. He just looks at me absolutely disgusted and says that was revolting. I told him I would rather refresh a litter tray, which takes seconds, than pee myself, and have to do a ton of washing. He hasn't spoken to me at all this evening and says that he can't believe I would do something so gross. I tried to tell him a number of times that I really needed to go, and he said that I should learn to hold it better. This has kind of left me feeling like I'm the jerk. All right. Well, okay. Let me ask you this, OP. If your, boyfriend was having a very bad bout of IBS and he was tapping on the door and then needed to use the bathroom, would you be like, "Oh, you need to learn how to hold it better"? I think that would be rude. And I think that you are aware that that would be rude. And I think anyone who would be put in that situation would think it would be rude. You did what you had to do in order to survive. Let's put it that way. This was not a situation that you took lightly here, and this isn't something that you do all the time. This was I have to pee. I am bursting at the seams. I'm literally going to have an accident if I don't use the bathroom now. And I honestly don't see. I think you're right. You made the right judgment call. Like, if it's a matter of having to do laundry, or a matter of using the cat box, which has absorbent material in it, and on top of that, then you're not in the wrong, right? But on top of that, like, a cat tray is designed to hold liquids, and it has like absorbent materials in it, and it's not really too much different, if you want to make the stretch, than like one of those portable toilets, right? So there are portable toilets that have like absorbent materials in them. Sometimes they just have, different things. And so it really depends, right? So I don't necessarily think that this is you being gross. I think this is literally you having a medical emergency. You have a medication that makes you need to use the bathroom. This isn't a matter of you being like, "Oh, I need to learn how to hold my bladder better." This is, you literally have medical problems, and he doesn't respect that. So I don't think that you're the jerk in this situation, and I think he needs to be a little more respectful for your medical issues. Sounds like you're respectful of his. I don't understand why he can't, be more respectful of yours. So I think, the way he acted was disgusting. He could have at least taken 5 minutes to get off the toilet and let you use it for a second under his own reasoning. And I mean, I don't know what's going on with him, and I don't know why he couldn't actually get off the toilet at that moment. But I mean, maybe it's more complicated than that. But I really just think that, that both of you need to learn how to share a bathroom, and that he put you in an impossible situation. He was going to call you disgusting if you peed yourself. He was going to call you disgusting because you used the cat box. The only thing that would have, solicited his praise in this situation is if you had just waited. And wouldn't have been good in this situation. If your bladder's hurting, that's not good, right?
Well, he could have just not locked the bathroom and then she could have used the shower.
Yeah, or not lock the bathroom. And, that would have been a situation. Maybe it would have been awkward, but at least then you both could have used the bathroom, right? So, yeah. Anyhow, take care and good luck. Wow, that's rich. Coming from a person with IBS telling that you should learn how to hold it better. Can he hold his stuff better? Or stop pooping long enough to tell you to let you into the bathroom? That's absolutely ridiculous for him to expect of you, which he knows he wouldn't be able to do the same. He's using double standards here, not the jerk. Yeah, exactly. I almost feel like I said that. I have IBS. I would have just let her go into the shower. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like they have a really small bathroom. I don't know how he couldn't just reach the lock, even if it was just a second, right?
We're not locking in the first place.
Or not.
He's gonna be in a long time.
Yeah, we're not locking in the first place if he thinks he's going to be in there a long time. X had IBS. Rarely was there a time when I had to use the bathroom badly enough that I would need to use the shower while he was in there, but it still happened. Saying he can't get off the toilet to unlock the door quickly is stupid. My ex always did it for me, and I think that's a valid point. Our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for installing cameras without telling my housemates? I'm a 20-year-old female and I live in a shared house with 3 other girls. We'll call them Sarah, Kate, and Zoe. Kate's is friends with Zoe, and the rest of us really aren't friends. Whilst I'm on okay terms with Sarah and Zoe, I never really liked Kate. We have a shared fridge where we have a shelf for each of our stuff. I have noticed that my food and milk constantly goes missing. I have seen multiple times a week that large portions of my food and milk is gone. It's unbelievably frustrating and also very time consuming and expensive having to buy and cook new food. I always believed that Kate was behind it because 1, she's awake late at night, 1 through 4 a.m., and I'm asleep during that time. And I tend to notice my stuff is missing in the morning. 2, I have asked all of them about it. Sarah and Zoe both deny taking my stuff, but Kate gets all defensive, saying that I shouldn't accuse her when I have no proof. I was complaining about my situation to a friend, and he said that he had a similar situation when he got a fridge camera. I thought it was a great idea. I got one, placed it discreetly inside the fridge, and decided to wait a week. Sure enough, it was Kate, raiding my food daily. I confronted her about it because now I had proof. I showed her the footage and I told her never to do it again, and that she should repay me for what she took. She went ballistic. She says how dare I put a camera in a shared kitchen without asking the others first, and how it's so invasive to record others in their own home. I explained the camera only recorded inside the fridge, not the whole kitchen, but she didn't care. She has since said that she'll never be able to feel safe in our own home again. Zoe has sided with her, and they're both calling me a jerk, saying that I should have asked everyone first, even though this would have defeated the whole purpose. I said none of this would have happened if Kate hadn't been stealing my food and lying about it. Sarah has taken my side, so it's pretty tense in the house at the moment. Am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Probably not the jerk.
Probably not the jerk. This is a situation with a little bit of nuance. I think that as long as your roommates aren't walking around, are walking around with their clothes on and use the fridge, with appropriate wear and garments, that it's probably okay. This is a little tough because it is a little bit of an invasion of privacy, and I don't know how I entirely feel about it. I think that they do have a point that being recorded without permission is, a kind of a bad situation, but with this just recording the inside of the refrigerator where the only thing it sees is whether or not food is being taken, that's a little bit of a different situation. So I would have a hard time entirely faulting you. You were frustrated, you didn't want your food taken, and I think that you took a solution that is pretty reasonable. And this is kind of like taking a camera and putting it in your own room and not telling anyone. And if someone comes into your room and, gets caught doing something, then you're like, well, I have a camera that has proof in it. They can't just then claim that this is an invasion of privacy. But with this being on your personal shelf in your refrigerator, it kind of has analogous feelings, like, to me for that. But again, it is a shared space, so I think there is a little bit of gray here. But overall, I think that OP isn't the jerk, and I think that Kate is probably the jerk in this situation. So yeah, let me know what you folks think. I'm actually a little torn on this one, so I'd be interested to hear some other perspectives. Anyhow, take care and good luck. Not the jerk. Kate, how dare you procure evidence of my stealing to back up your charges? This is an outrage. Do not apologize. You should insist to the other roommates that Kate should apologize and pay you back or move out. More than do not apologize, don't even engage. If they bring up the camera, ask, why were you stealing from me? When will you be paying me back for stealing from me? If they say that they don't feel safe, ask, why were you stealing from me? When will you pay me back for stealing from me? If her friend comes at you, ask, but why was she stealing from me? Don't even begin to address the camera. Don't respond to any complaints about it directly. Keep emphasizing to everyone who lives there that this is about theft and nothing else. That's actually really good advice there. I think that's good, solid advice. Right. Faux outrage deflects her guilt. OP is not the jerk, and Kate owes her for groceries. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, consider giving me a like, and if you didn't, consider giving me a dislike. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.
Oh, and happy Wednesday. Happy hump day.